Hello everybody, it's the Danksaur here, and welcome to another Gamemaker tutorial. And today, we are going to do auto tiling, like I'm sure you know, because it's in the title, and probably on the thumbnail, and you've clicked on this video right now. Now, what this is, a little quick explanation, is that basically it's going to be a way that you'll be able to set up rooms, and then the game will be able to tile it, basically, and like basically be able to decorate the rooms depending on what you put in. It saves a lot of time and effort on your part, honestly. So we're going to get right on into it. Now, I am using a tile set that I'm using for a different game. But, so I'm going to be using it here. So there's probably a bit of it that we're not actually going to use. But we're going to just kind of use it as an example, shall we say. So, let's start off with just making an SPR block or solid or whatever you want to call it. And you can make it whatever width and height that you want. I'm going to do 32 by 32. And I'm just going to color it black. It's just going to represent collidable area, right? And that should be everything we need. So then we just got to come over here and we got to say object block. Make it, it doesn't even need to be solid, honestly. It depends on what you want to do. It could be solid. We'll make it solid for this case. And then what we're going to do is just make a small little room. So let's make this like 640 by 640. We don't want it to be too huge. We can kind of make it right here. We'll call this RM test. And since we've got our objects right here, we're going to just, I'll put a little border on it. Just like that. And we'll add some stuff like, we'll add like this, a little bit of line. Just some stuff like that. We can go ahead and make it all the way around. Let's see. Let's add like a little bit of a square right there. That's good. That's good. And then let's see what else. Just another square like that. That looks fine. Now what we actually might need, we're gonna need some single ones, just so we can test out everything. That should be it all. Let me just put these right here because I'm trying to make a level that we can test all the different tilings. So far, this isn't going to do anything, but this is how our room is set up. Everything's set up as far as the room goes. Now, the rest of everything that we're going to be doing in this video is going to be in this object right here. We're going to call it object tile. All right. Now, this we also want to real quick put in our room to make sure that we don't forget it. Boink, just like right there. And now, usually I prepare these things, like these tutorials and stuff beforehand, but for right now, I'm just kind of doing this off the top of my head and with a little bit of reference. So first off, we're going to need our background. We're going to call BCR tile set. We're just going to call it. Let's load a background. Now I am going to go and I'm going to find mine. There it is. Bink. Level 1. As you can see, this one's pretty large. So I'm going to explain what's happening here. So you can make a tile set like this of your own. These are all floor tiles. Alright, basically it's just going to pick randomly between all these floor tiles. And as you can see, these are just different rotations of it, pretty much. Kind of, because I just have different variations and whatnot. And so this is basically allowing it to tile the floor for us. And then these are all the wall tiles right here. And as you can see, we have one that's like surrounded. We have one that has nothing. So basically, you can see that we have one that's like left and right, up and down. Then we have like a corner one right here. We have like an end, another end, another end. Oh, I think this is an end right here. We have a corner, a corner, a corner, a corner. Then we have a straight, 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 and straight. So that's basically all the different types of things you need. Now these right here, we're not going to mess with today or in this video. But these are actually pits, so you can see like a single pit, middle of a pit, same thing, corner, 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 or end corners, straight, and then like other corners and stuff like that. Basically, there's like this like straight, 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 straight. These are like inside corners as well, which you can do, which you would probably want if your other tiles look different. But anyways, that's basically what I have for this tile set. And so we're going to use this. We're going to say use as tile set. And we're going to say 32, 32. And then that should be everything like that. Now what we would normally do is that then we have this all laid out. So then we'd go like backgrounds, we'd go like tile set right, or that's not right. Let's go to tiles, tile set right, and then we'd be like, okay, let's put this right here, put some of these around, you know. And honestly, we don't want to do that because we could, but for every single level and every single room, it could take a while. And plus, it's more like randomized and pretty cool this way. So first off, let's go to our object tile and let's get things started. Let's go to create. And let's add some code. I think everything is going to be inside this create event. So first off, I actually think we want to make this depth 10. No, we don't. We just want to leave that the way it is. Anyways, so then the first thing we want to do is do randomize, just to make sure that each room is going to be random as far as like some of the tiles on the ground as far as they go and whatnot. So let me look at my reference right here. All right, yeah, just to make sure everything is good. So first off, then we're going to say width object block. All right. Oh, first off, we're gonna need to go tile underscore grid. We're gonna name it whatever we want, and we're gonna go ds list create, because basically we're gonna, all right, it's gonna be ds grid create. Haha, that's what it is. Width and height, we're gonna say room width div 32, room height div 32. That way it'll give us a round number. There will be no decimals. That's what this div operator thing does, is that it will divide it by 32 without any remainders, no decimals, no nothing. And that's what we're going to do here too. So then we're going to so ds grid add. Let's just, okay, that's good. ID is going to be other point tile grid. I suppose if we really want to, and we'll do that just because, we'll make this global. And we'll say global dot tile grid, and then we can say x div 32, y div 32 like we did before, and our value is going to be a 1. And actually what we want to do is then we're going to go ds grid fill, is it like add area? I'm trying to remember where add area, grid area, it's something like that. I can check it out real quick, because it's in here somewhere. Grid set region, that's where it is. Grid set region. Whoa! We're going to say global.tile grid. We're going to say x 0, y 0, and we're going to say grid height. Oh wait, ds grid height, or it'd be width. Haha. Global tile grid parenthesis comma, and then we're gonna say ds. This is ds underscore grid height. Global dot tile. Yeah, tile underscore grid parenthesis value 0. So let's make this bigger so we can see everything that's happening here, because this is going to be quite the code. We can actually just put this in full screen. Basically what's happening here, we're making the grid of data, and we're making it the room height and the room width. So this is basically every individual like block, and then we're going to fill all of that with zeros. Zeros is going to mean a floor. 1 is going to mean a block. All right. So then right now is that we're going through each of the blocks and we're setting it to a 1 depending on what we're going to have. So actually, we're going to pause right here and just make a draw event just so we can see this in action. So we're going to say draw set color. I'm actually going to make it C underscore red. Then we're going to say 4. And we're going to say XX equals, we're actually going to go YY equals 0. Semicolon. YY is less than ds grid height, and we're going to say global dot tile underscore grid semicolon YY plus plus, and in this for loop we're going to put another for loop, XX equals 0. XX is less than ds grid width global tile grid boink and then xx plus plus. And then here we're just going to say draw text, not test, text. And we're going to say we're going to say 10 plus, that's times, plus I times, let's say 6. And we're going to say 10 plus I times 6. And then we're going to go string, and we're going to say ds grid get. We can actually do this another way, where we can just go global, an accessor grid, tile grid. We're going to so a bracket, number sign, I believe, xx, yy, close that, close that, close that. So this is like a fast way to do an accessor for like grids and stuff like that. So basically all we're doing is that we're just going to draw out all the data with this right here. Is that we're going to loop through all the y's. So this is going to start with the top line, and then it's going to go in here, and then for each x value as it goes across, boink, it's going to read it, and then it's going to display either a 1 or a 0. All right, and we can actually make this so it's a little bit more clear too. We can just say draw set color. We can say sea green. We can actually say if. No, it doesn't matter. We're fine, because we'll be able to see it either way. I was just thinking we could make it a little bit more clear. But if we have that, and then it's going to times its x and y value by where it is on the grid, so that way we can just kind of see everything as it is. So I'm actually going to make its depth -10, just so we can see it. We can test this much out right now. If we go in there and we give this a little bit of a run, all it should be doing is filling up our grid with data, and it should be giving us our data back. And we got an error, which is fine. Object tile point I. Oh, because I never did I. What am I doing? Okay, let's go back into this. Yeah, we don't want I. We want XX and YY. There we go. That should do everything. Whoa, we don't want that. Now let's go ahead and do that, because that will actually get it to work. All right. Boink, and there we go. So it's pretty small. Let's go in there. See, it's just a little bit of testing like that. We just need to adjust this. Let's probably make that 12. Let's just double it to make sure we can see everything. All right, all right. Let's do that again. But it still looked like it worked. So as you can see, we have this all filled up. Ones are walls. You can see it's surrounded by ones. We have these ones in here that represent these in here. It is a little bit hard to tell the ones and the zeros and stuff like that. But as you can see, our grid is filled up. Like, our grid is filled up with the correct data. This is basically the data that's being filled up with right here. So now all we can do is that we actually kind of want to just keep this. So we're going to go dash and then star. I'm actually going to put one at the end here to close it. This will just kind of comment out this bit of code, so it won't do anything for now. So if we ever want to look at it again, we just have this code that we can look at if anything goes wrong, and we can of course change it as we need. But now let's try and get it so that it just adds in all the tiles for just the floor. So now we're going to say, put in a little comment, and we're going to say add the floors. All right. And then we're going to do the same thing. For YY equals 0. YY is less than ds grid height global dot tile grid semicolon YY plus plus. Put this in here. We're going another for loop. X equals 0, comma, XX less than ds grid width global tile grid XX plus plus. All right, then, so we're going to loop through. Actually, this is all going to be in the same thing. We only really need to loop through it for. So we're going to say add the tiles. So now we're going to say if. We're going to use our accessor again, global.tilegrid, square bracket, number sign, XXYY, because that's where we're looking, equals 0. So if it's a floor tile, because that's what we're going to do first. Then we're going to say, we're going to use this function right here, tile add, and very first off, if I can bring this up a little bit, make this a little bit smaller, tile add. So we're going to say background is BCR tile set. That's what we named it. The left. So now we're looking for the X number of the top. So first off, we're just going to fill it all with this tile first. All right. So the X and Y of its top left corner is just 0, 0. So I'm actually going to leave this off to the side because we're going to need it a little bit. So 0, 0. Its width and height is 32, and its height is 32. X and Y, this is where we're going to put it on the screen, right? So we're going to say XX times 32, YY times 32. And its depth, we're going to say 10,000. Just so it's always in the background there. All right, so now that we got just this right here, let's go ahead and let's test that out and to see if it works. And it should. But you know, programming, how it all goes. Writing index out of bounds. Uh-oh. Things are getting weird. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Of course I goofed. It's okay. Let it go. Let it cancel out. All right. Let's take a look. Something went wrong. Ah, yep. See, here it is. This should be XX. YYY, XXXX, XXYY, XXYY. Okay. Let's try it again, shall we? As I say it was supposed to work and it doesn't work. What a scallywag. There we go. So now as you can see, these blocks are still black. We can actually go back through and make them invisible. But it's filled up all those spots with just those tiles, but not the black ones. And in fact, we can show that better if we say visible. They're not visible because we don't want them to be visible. They're just colliders. And if we run it again, then as you can see, it's just put the tiles where those ones were. All right. Now we're just going to put in the wall tiles as just basic. All right. And then we're going to say else. So if we go into our create event, because that's where everything is right here, else if global.tile_grid square bracket number sign XX comma YY square bracket equals 1, as if it's a wall, we're going to do the same thing. Tile add BCR underscore tile set. Now this is going to be different. So if we go here, we're going to be using this square right here. So this is going to be 0, 32, 64, 96, 128. So our left is 128. Our top, if we go back to it, where is it? Where are you? There it is. Our top is just right here, 0. So then 0. We're going to do our width is equal to 32. Height is 32. X is the same thing, XX times 32. YY times 32. Depth, 100,000. All right. Now with this in place, we can go ahead and put that in. And so we should be able to see. There we go. Now, as you can see, we have all these wall tiles in and then all the floor tiles in. Now, we have a lot more tiles we can work with, so I'm going to show a bit more things that we could do to make it so that, well, first we're gonna make it so the floor is all randomized so it looks a bit better, and then we're gonna make it so that the walls connect, and then we're going to add shadows to make it all look really cool. So first off, let's do the floor. Now I've set up my tile set very specifically for this purpose right here. So if I can, I'm going to shorten this because I don't think we're gonna need any more than just that. So let's pull this off right here, and let's pull out our tile set again. So now, basically what I want to do is I want to randomize the rotation of that tile just to give it a little bit more flavor. So I have these rotations here and I've put them all in a line on purpose. That way, we can say right here, so this is our floor right here, where we're messing with the floors. I can say var I random 3 var, oh whoops, I can call it rand equals random 3. So this is going to get a number, a random integer between 0 and 3, and put it into this random right here. Then, where I have my left, which is top left right here, I can then say ran times 32. Or yes. Because if it's a 0, right, then it will be 0 times 32, and its left will be 0, right? If it's a 1, though, out of this random number, it'll be 1 times 32 equals 32, which means it'll come over here, and its left will be this one, meaning it'll be this tile, and so on and so forth. And so we can see that really quick. And so then we go back in, and now as you can see, they're all random directions, which it gives the room a little bit more flavor, a little bit more taste. All right, but I'm going to add even more. All right, because we're going to add lots of just detail to this. Right, open up our tile set, open up this, and open up our code again. All right, now we're going to add another layer. All right, this is actually going to be pretty easy, because then we can call this ran x. All right, and then we can say var ran underscore y equals the same thing. I random 3. All right, then we just do the same thing. Ran, so that first we need to change this ran underscore x. Then we make this ran underscore y times 32. So then it's just going to give us one of these random tiles in here of this 16 by 16 area. So that's why I've put them in the tile set in this order, to get it so that it can just kind of randomly just get these random numbers, times it by 32, and so I can get random numbers, random tiles within there. So then we can exit both of these out, and we can go back into here, and then we can see how this is going. Boom, and there we go. So now as you can see, all the tiles are randomized. We have like broken ones, we have cracked ones, normal ones, everything like that. So it's looking pretty good. Now, this is the more difficult part. Kind of, it's not really difficult, it's just time consuming, and it can be a little bit hard to understand. But then, now we're going to tile the walls so that they'll connect to each other. Alright? Alright. So, let's go back into, let's open this up. And then let's open, in fact, I might just go edit background. No, I won't be able to do that at the same time. Okay, that's fine. Let's open these up again. So, we have our floor done. So now we want to do our walls. All right, and then this is where things are going to get a little bit interesting. So first, we're going to add in some space here, just so we have some more space. We're going to add in some variables. We're going to say var up equals, and then we're going to say global.tile grid bracket number sign xxyy bracket. Oh, and then we can say -1 equals 1. All right. Basically, what this is saying is that this, when we put like this equals within an equals, and this is something I didn't know we could do until like recently, is that basically it's going to say this x. So basically, we're looking at our grid. All right. We're looking at the x of wherever we're looking at, because we're going square by square and checking each of them for whatever they are. So basically now, because if it's a wall, right, it's going to say, oh, that's a 0, right? We're just going to give it a random tile, and we're going to put it down, all right? Here's going to say if it's a wall, we're then going to check the grid space above it, right? And we're going to say if that's also a wall, then this is going to be true, which will set up to true, all right? Because if this is 0, it's going to look at that spot above where we're looking. And if that's a 0, then this is going to be false, all right? That's basically all that we're doing here, is we're going to be checking all, or just the 4 blocks like around it, to see where other walls are, so we know what kind of tile to be. So then we're going to do the same thing with down. Global.tile underscore grid bracket number sign xxyy plus 1 because we're looking below us. We're going to say var right equals global.tile grid, grid, bracket, number sign xxyy. And since we're looking right, we're going to do +1. Or on the x-axis, we're going to do +1. Bracket equals 1. Var left equals global.tile grid, bracket, number sign xx minus 1, yy, bracket equals 1. Alright? Alright, so basically we're just going to get true, 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 false, false, whatever, depending on what is around that block that we're looking at right there. So then, from this point, it's just a bunch of else ifs to know what's happening. So I'm reading this right here from my other example, so this is going to be a lot easier. So we're going to say if up equals false, as in if there's no wall, and down equals false, which means there's no wall, and right equals false, which means there's no wall, and left equals false. Then we'll be able to come down here, and actually we can take this and we can cut that out, plop it right here. So basically, if there is no walls around it, then we're going to just be the basic one right here. This is no walls around it. All right. Then, if we say if, else, if up equals true and down equals true and right equals true and left equals true, which is the complete opposite, right? And what I'm actually going to do, well, because then we can say tile underscore add, BCR tile set. Now, we're going to try and find the tile that basically is surrounded by blocks, which is this blank one right here. So if that one was 128, we add 32 and it'll become 160, all right? So its left is 160, top is still 0, width and height 32, 32. X is the same thing, xx times 32, yy times 32, and the depth equals 100,000. So basically all that we're changing, everything stays the same except all that we're changing is the x and y of where we're grabbing it from the tile set. So that is going to make this easy. That way we can copy this. So I'm going to Control-C copy that. We're going to come down here. We're going to paste it. And basically we're just going to run different trues and falses to get different like tiles. So this up is false, down is false, right is true, left is true. All right. Which up and down, there's no walls. Right or left, there are walls. So that means we're going to be like a horizontal straight one, which is this one right here. So then this will just be 192 because we're going to go 192 over because we're trying to get this one right here. This one is going to be the opposite. We're going to say up equals true, down equals true, right equals false, and left equals false. All right. And then this, its x is going to be 224. Because we're going to go 224 pixels and we're going to get this one right here. Then it's just a matter of going down the line and doing our true and falses, everything like that. But we can pause right here just so we can check it out to see what we have so far. Just to see if what we have so far works. Which it should, but it also might not. All right, so as you can see, it's only filling in the walls that it can. So as you can see, we did left and right. So you see these are now all linked together. You see those are linked together too. The single ones are here because we said false, 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 right? These ones are here because true, 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 right? So that's why these ones are here. And we have done these other ones right here. So it's working all well so far. And that's basically all we're doing is that we're going in and we're just changing all these different cases. So for instance, this one's going to be down equals true, right equals true, up equals false, left equals false. We're going to do that specific corner and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and let's continue onward and just crunch through this so that we can have everything we need to done for this tutorial. So we're going to go ahead and paste another one. And actually we can split this up so we can say top row, right? And then we can put this down here and we can say, oh wait, these don't need to be 3. Blink. And then we can say second row, right? Actually, we can say first row. First row, second row, right? So that way we're able to go through all the cases for each thing going down and have it be good. At least I'm pretty sure I've set it up that way. It should be. So now, if we say, oh geez, because it's hard to keep track of, boink, 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 because there gets to be so many. All right, so this is going to be up. Let me go ahead and in my, that says frist row. I just realized that says frist row. I'll change that in a second. I'm going to go ahead and split this up over here on my example. I know you can't see what's going on, but I'm putting it in here so I'm able to read it a little bit easier also, because it just becomes like this massive, like just mess of just numbers and stuff like that. All right, and let's change this so it's not frist, it's first. Okay, second row. Here we go. All right, so up equals false, down equals true, right equals false, left equals false. So we're doing like the edges right here. This would be 128, and this should be 32, right? So all of the y's for these should be 32 now. So what I want to do is actually just copy this one now and come out here. That way the y is already 32. And that way we can just increase this to 160. We don't even really need to, because if we're going down the line, I've already mapped out the trues and falses for all these. But basically that's just how you'll want to, that's how I've done it right here. And so second row, we're going to say up equals false. And we're going to say down equals true. We're going to say right equals false and left equals false. All right, as they are. That's 160. So we're getting this one right here. So basically the only one, because this is this corner right here, that the only open side is right here, and that's what we have is down is equal to true, is if there's one block, if there's one wall right here, then that's the wall that we want to have open. And we're going to say else if we already know that this is going to be 192, just the way that it's been set up. And then we just got to map out the trues and falses. So if we look at it again, this is the open side, left is our open side, so we want left to be true. And then we want the other ones to be false. All right, and then that's everything done right there. We put in another one. We already know that this is going to be 224. All right, so then we look and say the open side is up, right? So then we want up to be true and these other ones to be false. Now, on to the third row. We're halfway done. Third row. Row, your boat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that in there. Fourth row. Not faux row. All right, third row. We're going to add in some space so that we can look at it a little bit. Third row. Actually, we can pull this back now because we have some space. We can look at it. Okay, third row. So now if we're looking at it, it's this corner. These ones are the ones that are going to be false. So basically, left is going to be false and down is going to be false. So let's go down, false, left, false. And then the other ones are going to be true. True, up, true. If we look at these, we want this to be 128 because we're back at the beginning. And now the y is 64. Let's go ahead and copy this one. Now, if we're looking at the next one, right here, left is false and up is false. So we're going to say up, false, down, true, right, true, left, false. All right, we can add this, 160. We can copy it. We don't need to copy it. Now, if we look right here. All right, then we go to our thing. I know it's hard to see on like the screen, but these are the sides that are facing outwards. So up is going to be false and right is going to be false. So up is false, right is false, which means down and left are true. True and true. And then last but not least, on the third row, as you can see, these are the edges right here. They're going to be facing outwards. So left is true and up is true. So up is true, left is true, right and down are false. False right here. Oh, I also forgot, on the last one, so let's go up here. Let's make this 192. This one, 224. All right, and then we have the last one, 4th row. We can pop this in, paste it in. Whoa, let's not insert. All right, now we're down here. Now the only edge that's going to be false is down. So down is false. The other ones are true. True, true, true. Let's make our Y right here, 96. This is 128, so that's good. Go ahead and copy this. Now, the edge is right here, so left is going to be false. So if we find left, false. The other ones are going to be true. True. True, true, true. Then we add this, 160. All right, put this in. And now we look at our next one. The edge is on the top, so up is going to be false. False. And then the other ones are true. True, true, true. Right there. We add this, 192. And then our last one, here we go. Our edge is to the right, so our right is going to be false. Find that? False. The other ones are going to be true. So we got true, true, false, true. Then this 224. That sets up everything, all right, for our tiles. So it's a hefty bit of code, but it's all in the create event, right? So if we can hit OK, now we can go ahead and we can run our game to see if everything went well. And if not, we can look in and see where it went wrong. As you can see, one of them isn't working right. But as you can see, we have like this corner right here. We have this that gets bigger, right? So all these edges. So as you can see, some of these got a little weird. Like this one's not working right. All right, and then that one doesn't even exist. So we just switched some things around, but it's okay. This is how we're going to fix this, right? We look this edge right here. We go into our tile set. Let's zoom in and find that edge. That edge is right here. So this is second row. That means something went wrong in our second row. Well, let's take a look. Let's keep this open so we can use it as reference. Tile. Let's look in second row. Boink. All right, so the first one. Let's check our X's and Y's. 128, 160, 192, 224. So our 128, our first one, right here. Right should be the only true. All right? Right should be the only true. And it's not. Let's go ahead. True. False. False. All right? If we go to the next one, down should be our only true. So down, true, false, false, false. All right? We look at the next one. Left should be our only true. We look. Left is our only true. And if we look up here, up should be our only true. And it looks like it is. So just a little bit of a mix-up, but that's how we're going to fix it. Everything should be working now. Then, the only last step we need in this tutorial is shadows. Now, as you can see, boink, everything connects to each other. You know, we're not getting weird things. Everything's like single and whatnot. And there you have it for that. Really cool. Now we just add in the shadows. Now, the shadows work pretty much the same way, but not quite as crazy. So, yeah. So let's do this. We need another tile set now. We can do BCR shadows. All right. I'm going to load mine in that I have preset shadows. Now, this is how mine are set up. Let's zoom in here. So they're each set up in 32 squares of the different types that I need. My shadows are going to go from the right down. All right. So for instance, this is underneath a block. This will be to the right of a block. This will be by like a corner. Like if this was a block, right? And there was nothing else here. Like this would be like a corner one right here, and it'll go right here. This is like another corner one, so if this was a block, and these are all shadows, that means it has this corner right here. Same thing. And then an inside corner like that. So if this block, this is an inside corner. So it's basically the same type of thing, but just a little bit, the logic gets a little bit different. We're looking for different things. So that's how that's set up. We actually probably want to leave this out. First, we also want to use this tile set and split it into 32s. So as you can see the different tile, like the shadow pieces now that we're going to be able to use. I'm going to go ahead and use them inside the room so you know what we're talking about. As you can see, our room still looks like this. If we go to tiles and we go to shadows, basically I want to use this shadow right here, this shadow right there, this shadow like that, this shadow like this. Let's see, we want this shadow like this one like that, and then this one like that. That's basically how our shadows are going to look inside the game. So if it's like something like this, we're going to have a shadow like that, shadow like that, shadow like that. That's going to give us our shadow. See? Ba-ba-bum. So that's what we're going to teach the computer how to do, is use our tiles like that. So let's go into our object tile, create event. Now, we can do this, and I think I will. Right here, we can say generate, walls and floors, right? Then we can have right there, generate walls and floors. We can put in another create event, and we can say dash 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 generate shadows. All right. Now, we're gonna do the same thing that we did before. Y. The only reason that we can't do this at the same time is because everything needs to be like set first. Well, yeah, we want all the tiles set first, and then we want these ones to be like on here. So y equals 0, y is less than ds grid height, global tile underscore grid, semicolon y plus plus, for xx equals 0, xx is less than ds grid grid width, global dot tile underscore grid, parenthesis, semicolon xx plus plus. Now, we're going to do the same type of thing, except we're looking for different blocks, because we don't really need to know everything that's around us, just a few. We only need to know 3. So first, we're going to have var left equals global tile grid, stop it with that capital G, bracket number. We're going to xx minus 1, because we're looking to our left, which is minus 1, and then y. And then we're going to say, yeah. I'm not sure why this is set up differently than the other ones. But it's okay. It's alright. We're just going to go with it right now. Up equals global dot tile grid, bracket, number sign xx, and then y minus 1, because it's up. So, and then var left up equals global dot tile grid, bracket, number sign xx comma y. Bink bonk. All right. Now, basically, this isn't doing like an equals or anything like that, so we're not going to get true or falses. We're going to get 1s or 0s, depending on floor or wall. All right. And so this is how the logic is kind of going to go. If up equals 1, or a wall. All right. Then we're going to say if left is equal to 1. So basically, we're looking above us, right? And then, so if our left is equal to a wall, we're going to go here, and we're going to say tile add, and we're going to open up our shadows again. Just like that. We're going to go tile add. Let's make this one bigger. Boink. Boink. BCR shadows. And there is probably a better way to do this, but it's okay. So basically, we're going to want that guy right there, that 64, 32. We're going to come over 64, 32. Basically, so if up is true and left is true, we're going to have this shadow right here. All right, width 32, 32, xx times 32, y times 32, Depth, we're going to go 99999. So it's going to be one above our floors, right? And then we're going to say, actually, we're going to say continue. All right? Just to make it sure that it goes through like the rest of the code. And then we're going to say, right here, we're going to say else if left underscore up is equal to a floor. So basically is up equals true if up equals a wall and left doesn't equal a wall, right? Then we're going to see if our top left equals a wall to decide whether we're going to be straight or angled like that. So if it's a floor, right? If this one, so if this is a block, that's a floor. And if that's a floor, that means we're going to be this tile right here. Tile add BCR shadows. Left is 0. Y is 32, or top is 32. Width 32. Height 32. XX, it's X is XX times 32. YY times 32. Comma depth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that. But else, basically then, if this up is a wall, left is not a wall, but up here is a wall, then we want to be this guy right here, this straight across one. Tile, add, BCR, shadows. Its left is 0, its top is 0, its width 32, 32, and then everything is the same as before, XX times 32. YY times 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 nines. Now right here, we can just kind of leave it the same as it is. So we can actually go in. Now it's not done yet. We still have a little bit more left to go. But we can still go in and test out what we have so far. So we should have like all the underside of shadows done. As you can see, things got weird. It looks like everything's like the opposite. Yeah, and I know why. So first off, let's go in here. First, generate shadows. The very first thing we want to do is if global dot tile underscore grid bracket number xxyy, if it's equal to a floor, because we're only going to put these on floors. Then we can put these all, we're going to tab all these forward one. Forward. This is the way I like to do brackets. Most people don't do it this way. This is just the way that I've kind of learned to do it. And it makes more sense to me. Alright. There we go. And we can actually boop, boop, boop. There we go. Because that way it's like everything's equal this way to what it like lines up with, right? Boink, 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 right? Alright. So first, we're just looking at floor tiles. We're only looking at floor tiles. Because if it's like a wall tile, there isn't going to be a shadow there, alright? Alright. Now, this will hopefully make things a little bit better. I still, like, things are a little bit messed up at the moment still. I think I know how to fix it. Yeah, so everything's still fine. It's just mixing up these ones now. And so let's go in and see if we can fix that. Generate shadows. So, 64, 32. I'm just checking like my reference right here. But let's see if we can solve it kind of as a wall and a wall, right? 0, 32, 0, 0. This is quite the puzzling mystery. Oh, wow. Let's make this continue. And continue. Okay. Let's see. So, I feel like there's an easier way to do this, though. I really do. I feel like we should just do it. So, guys, this is going to be a little bit different. We're gonna do it like we did the other way. So let's put equal 1 equals 1 and equals 1. Let's do it like how we did the walls, because like as I'm looking at this program, like I'm really not sure why I programmed it this way. So let's just start from scratch. So if it's a floor, all right, we're going to get our true or falses because we're looking for walls, all right? So let's just go through each tile like we did before and look at what needs to be the cases to be there. So this one, right? We're going to say if up equals true, because up needs to be true for this one because there's one right there. And left up equals true, and right and left equals false. Then we're going to say tile add. Let's go BCR shadows. And we're going to say left is going to be 0, top is going to be 0, 32, 32, XX times 32, YY times 32. Let's just take it a step at a time, all right? And, oh yeah, depth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just take it a step at a time. So first, we're just looking for these straight shadows right here. All right. And if we see, nope, nothing shows up again. I see there's like some out of bounds stuff that's looking for. All right. This is good though, so that we can kind of see what's happening. Equals 1. Left up, that's why nothing's working. Because this needs to be -1, -1. Alright? Alright. Whoo! Okay. Let's go in there again, because we're going left up. I completely forgot that detail, which means the other way we did it probably should have worked, but I like this way better. There we go. So now, as you can see, these are the only ones that should have those shadows. As we can see, they are, which is good. So let's just do what we did before. Let's open up our shadows. Let's open up our tile, generate shadows. Then we're just going to copy this, and we're just going to look at each case. So now we're looking at 0, 32. So let's put that in, 0, 32. What needs to be what? So left needs to be true. So first off, left needs to be true. All right. Left up needs to be true because there needs to be a wall there. Otherwise, it'd be that, right? So left up, true. Up needs to be false. All right. Then copy this. Actually, we can say we want to say else if, just for formalities. It should work the same either way. But else if, let's look at the next case. Right or left is still true. Left up, though, is going to be false. And then this is 64. And this is not 32. This is 0. Gosh. This, oh my goodness, things are getting so weird. This should be 32. Left. So I've just been putting it in the wrong spot. 64. Okay, because that's 32, 64. Right there. Everything's good now. All right. Copy this. We're looking at the second row now. So that way we can make this 32. We can finally make that 32. There we go. All right, this one up is equal to true because we have one right there. Left up is false because there's nothing over here. That's why it's going to be a diagonal. And left is equal to false as well. All right. That way this is going to be 0, 32. 0, 32. This corner, that's where we have. Sweet. Let's copy this one now. Control C. Control V. All right. Let's look at the next one. 32, 32. That's where we're looking at. All right. So up is equal to false. All right. Left is equal to false because there's no block there. Left up, however, is equal to true. Let's take a look at that. And then that should be everything there. And our last one, right here. Up is equal to true. Left up is also, well, it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter if there's a block there or not. So we can actually just take that out. And if left is also equal to true, then this is 64, 32. So let's put 64, 32. That should be everything. That should be everything all fixed and all actually working. All right, let's test that out. And let's see. It should work. There we go. There we have it. So now as you can see, we got these blocks. They're all working. Tiles are all working. And then the shadows, they're all looking beautiful. All right. That will be everything for me, this hour-long tutorial. So thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. As for me, I'm out of here, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.